Hello there my friends, welcome to a brand new series of Minecolonies in all the mods 10. This time we're going to be looking at a style that I've had my eye on for quite some time, and it's called the Shire style, but you guys already know that because it's kind of in the video title. And also, we've added some quality of life mods for Minecolonies that are going to improve things. But I'll explain those as we go because we've got a lot of work ahead of us if we want to find the perfect location for a Shire. Now, welcome to the series, my dudes. I'm really excited for this series because this is going to play out a lot differently to the previous Minecolonies series. Basically, with the Spumante style buildings we built before, they were big, they were grand, they required a lot of materials, they were tough colonies. And the series often kind of felt a bit rushed because what I was mainly focusing on was making amazing looking buildings and building a huge city. So the colonies suffered. Is this snow? Oh yeah, what an odd place for snow. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Wait, is that a snow owl? Oh, now that is very cool. Wait, is he chasing a wolf? Yeah, you get him, pal. You show him. Oh no, it's a raccoon. Yeah, chase him off. Ooh, a waystone. So you can get very distracted when you start a Minecolonies series, when you start any All the Mods playthrough, exploring and gathering things from all of the amazing structures that you'll find around the world. There's a lot of cool booty around, but we've got a mission. We've got two things to do before the sun sets on the first day. Number one is to find some sheep and get ourselves a sleeping bag. So let's pick a direction and hunt for sheep. Here we go. All we need is 3 wool to make a sleeping bag, and that's going to keep us safe from the dudes that'll spawn overnight. It's usually pretty simple to find a sheep before the end of the first day, and it really is your primary goal. Now, while we're looking for sheep, we're also looking for a perfect place to call home. What are we looking for with a Shire-style colony? Well, when I think about the Shire, I think about the New Zealand set. Like, I've been there. It's a really cool place, but there's actually not much going on because the truth is, the Shire really is just a bunch of rolling hills. So we're looking for rolling hills with not too many trees. Now, we can always add our own trees after the fact, so we don't need to worry about it looking too bare bones. Here we go. Customer number 1. Give me your lovely, lovely wool. Why am I punching this guy? There's a tree right there. Okay, we got 1 piece of wool. That's not going to be enough. So we might as well ulti-mine this tree, get ourselves some simple wooden tools. Super simple. Oh man, the early days of Minecolonies, Minecraft, all the mods 10. So much promise, so many things to do. We're going to make some sticks and some logs and make the most essential stone tools. I usually don't bother making other wooden tools because really you want to go straight to stone. Like as a rule of thumb. Just dig down, find that lovely, lovely grey magic, and make yourself some stone tools. And there we go, a short minute later, we've got a stone sword, pickaxe. We're well on the way to achieving our first goal. So yeah, we're looking for a nice location for a base. Oh, there's a sheep. Number 2, again, we're looking for 3 wool for that sleeping bag. That's going to keep us safe for the first night. We've got 2 bits of wool so far, so we're almost there. Oh man, look at this. This is a very cool looking biome. It's not very Shire style, but it is pretty nice. There's also some pumpkins over here, and while we're not trying to gather resources before we find our first patch of land, grabbing a couple of things that might be hard to find later, if you run into them, is always worth doing. Now, if you're going to play along at home, amazing. There's a list of the extra mods I've added in the description below. You can download those, add them to all the mods 10, and it'll work just fine. Also, if we type /seed, you can see this is the seed we're using. So if you select large biomes and that seed, it should, in theory, plant you on this world that we have. But do remember, that's larger biomes, because I think regular biomes are not really big enough for a big old city like we plan. It's worth killing horses and donkeys when you find them because, well, we can't really ride them yet. Plus, they also drop leather, and leather's going to be great for a backpack. An essential for any All the Mods 10 playthrough. Come here, you little horse. Now, in a pinch, there is something we can do. We can turn the wool we have into, I guess, white wool. Most flowers become white dye. White flowers, at least. That one becomes grey. What about Fluffy Puff? That's a good find, actually. A fluffy seed is going to be really good for us. But, yeah. A white flower is all we need, or a white sheep. Oh, there's a brown sheep. Oh man, we do have 1 brown wool. If we get lucky, he'll drop 2 wool, but I don't think they can when you kill them. 2 brown wool, 2 white. Oh my god. All we need now is a brown sheep or a white sheep. I was sure we were going to find one before the sun set, but we're getting dangerously close to nighttime, my dudes. Dangerously close. Oh, what's this? These are lily of the valleys. These could be white dye. Let's find out. Oh my god, thank god. Okay, so the brown wool becomes white wool. We make ourselves a crafting bench out of oak. Put it down here. Okay, that's fine. It's floating, but you know what? I'm not in a position to care right now. And we have... Whew, I can breathe, finally. We've got a sleeping bag. We can skip the first night. Amazing. But we've survived the first night. We've got enough leather for a backpack. We've got the sleeping bag. So, we're well on the way. Now it's time to really knuckle down and find a place to call home. Find a place where we're going to build our Shire. Now when we get to where we're going, it's always worth thinking about the first steps. The first step is obviously to build a supply camp from Minecolonies, and to build that, the recipe has changed a bit in all the mods 10. So supply ship, we'll say, because the ships are cooler. And yeah, we're looking for some white wool for a banner. That won't be a problem. What might be is the iron required for iron bars. We'll need 6 ingots of iron as well. So we found this little kind of, I guess, wagon. So we're obviously going to grab all of the white wool from this. Oh man. And honestly, that's usually a better way of doing it. If you can't find a sheep early on, find a structure. And the structure is probably going to have what you need. Let's see if we can find a boat, sail the rivers, and see if that will help us find a place to call home. Ah, what's this? This is a very cool looking town. Maybe this will have the iron we need to get the iron bars so we can build a supply camp as soon as we get to the new location. Let's go and take a look. Oh my god, that's a lion. Oh my god, that's gonna kill me. Why is there a lion? Why is there a lion? Okay, yeah, this is a standard village, and usually, yeah, you'll find enough iron. I guess. We'll take anything else that's like super valuable, but again, we don't really want to stock up on useless stuff. Oh wow, amazing. So we found a supply camp inside a chest. We don't even need to... Oh, we found 2. Maybe we could take 2? Yeah, I'll take 2. Why not? That's exactly what we need. Now we can focus on finding the Shire. We've got everything we need to get started with our colony. Now, one thing we've changed this series as well is how the naming system works. So in previous Minecolonies series, you'll remember that you could submit, Patreon and YouTube members can submit their names to become part of our colony. However, the way we did it before was that you would submit a first name and a second name, and there was no guarantee that those 2 names would be together. So people didn't really get their full names unless they were incredibly lucky. But this time around, we're mixing it up. So everybody is going to get their full name as a colonist. You're going to be able to submit a full name, which will become the first name. The second name is going to be blank, so everybody that appears on the colony is going to have a different first name. So yeah, if you want to become a member of our Shire colony, if you can see yourself as a hobbit, because honestly, who can't? I can really relate to the hobbit lifestyle. You know, sitting around, 6 breakfasts, doing nothing, smoking old Toby. Oh man, I could go for a joint of old Toby right now. Ooh, that looks very cool. But yeah, become a Patreon member or a YouTube member, and you'll do 2 things. You'll help support the videos and the channel. Thank you very much. I can keep making more videos for you guys. And number 2, you'll be able to submit your name to the names list, and there's a chance you'll become a hobbit in our little Shire. Now also, I want to drive this series as hard as possible, which means I'd love for you guys in the comment section to let me know what your favorite character is from Lord of the Rings. It's a tough one, I know, but I know who mine is. No spoilers on that one. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and put a like on the video. The more likes we get, the more likely we are to continue the series. So let's keep it going strong. Anyway, we've messed around for way too long. Let's find a place to call our home. Oh, my dudes, I think we have found it. Look at this amazing valley. So with the Shire style, what we're looking for is hillside areas, places inside cliffs that we can kind of embed our houses, because most hobbit huts go into hills. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, do you know what? I think this is a great place to set up base and call our home. The first thing we're going to want to do is pick a place to put our town hall. Before we do that though, let's put down these supply camps. Now I'm thinking we want the town hall kind of central, but we also want it close enough to water so we can get a very early fisherman's hut. Now luckily enough, with the Shire style, there is a fisherman's hut that doesn't require you to be near water. It creates its own pond, and that means we can get away with moving our colony a little bit further away from the water, and that's going to give us more buildable space. So mission number 1, select the style. You'll see that we've also added Shire additions as a mod, and again you can find a link to this in the description if you want to add it as well. But we're going to scroll down until we find the Shire style, and here it is, the wagon from Shire style. This is one of my favorite supply camps of all of the styles. But what we can do is, I think we're going to rotate this around so it's facing the other way. It's a really cool looking little kind of, wagon that works really well. We'll move it, I guess. No, that looks okay. Bit close to that tree. No, that's okay. So we'll try and place this down. Oh, and there we go, it worked. So obviously we're going to tidy up the area around the outside using our shovel. Now before we place the actual town hall from the Shire style, let's take a look at the entire area with a bird's eye view. So it's a really cool looking valley that we have here. There's some resources around, there's some ground lava over there and some oil. 2 very important things that we might have use for later on. It's going to be a really nice place to park our Shire. I think we got really lucky finding this location. I'll show you the coordinates that we're at in a minute in case you want to find this place on your own and build your Shire here as well. Because we're not doing a Spelmancy build, we're doing a basic Minecolonies pack, the Shire. It's going to be much more achievable for you guys at home to keep up with the series and build something similar to mine or with your own twist. Now what's really cool is this basin over here right next to the valley. I'm thinking we can build a tunnel through to this and dedicate this area over here. We can clear up that lava at the back because it looks a bit nasty, but we can make this little basin a separate area as well. That's a really good idea. It means we're moving away from the supply camp, but that doesn't matter. The supply camp is only there, really, to give us the town hall. So, we've seen the area. It looks pretty cool. Let's place down our first building. So if you're new to Minecolonies, we'll try and explain what we're doing as we're going along. Like I said, this series is a bit different to the last couple of ones we've had. We're not focusing on the buildings. We're going to make this colony look very cool, don't worry. But we're really going to focus on the gameplay of Minecolonies. We're going to make sure everything actually works and we have a really efficient colony. Now the first thing you're going to want to do once you put down the supply camp is, well, we're going to use the supply camp as a place to dump our stuff for now. But we're also going to get out the town hall block, very important, and the build tool, probably even more important. We're also going to use this other barrel down here. These supply camps usually come chock-a-block full of really valuable, usable materials. They also usually have all of the saplings you're going to need for the style. For example, over here we've got some birch. Very nice. There's some mushrooms which we might need, I suppose, but we'll leave them here for now. And I'm also going to set my home here for now as well, so if we die, we'll pop back here instead. No more lions ruining our flow. Oh, and there's a sapling for spruce. Very handy. Now also around the edge of all the supply camps, there's usually hidden some resources. For example, underneath this stone, I think, yeah, look at that, an emerald. So if we want to expand into this basin over here, which is quite hard to see on the map, but that is a basin, we're going to want to put the town hall relatively close to this, so expanding into there isn't too hard. And I like a pretty central location for the town hall, so I'm thinking this big old space of flat land should be pretty good. Let's get the build tool and see what the Shire town hall actually looks like. Let's take a look. Fundamentals, here it is, the town hall. Oh man, very exciting. So this is the basic town hall. This is level 1, looking pretty good. This is level 2. If it loads, man, it's a bit laggy on these loads. Looking better, looking bigger. Then this is level 3.
And yeah, level 3 is really where it starts to become a real building. What about level 4? Oh, pretty nice. That's quite a big upgrade for level 4. That's a nice window it gets up there. And what about level 5? Yeah, not too much of a change for level 5. Now, one of the cool things about the town hall is, as you can see, this is kind of like a standalone building. The Shire style has a lot of buildings that are supposed to be kind of embedded into the hills and the sides of the map. But that's not the case with the town hall. Now, there are more types of town halls. If we go back, we can switch back to Shire Editions. This is another separate mod pack that someone's made to add a few things that are in the Shire style that could complement your build. And inside here in Fundamentals, you'll see there's also a version of the town hall here as well. And this looks a little bit different. So this is level 1. There's a tree in the middle. It looks a lot more basic, to be honest, a little bit less like a building. Level 2. Oh, wow. Okay, this looks much bigger, much cooler. Level 3. Oh, wow. Yeah, the tree gets bigger. Level 4. Oh, that's a weird combination. Birch and oak. Sure. And level 5. Now, the idea behind this town hall is it's supposed to be the party tree where Bilbo celebrates his birthday. So yeah, I can imagine that, I can see that. And you know what? It's a cool option that's very much in the Shire style. But it doesn't look like a traditional Minecolonies building, so we're going to go back to the regular Shire style for this one. However, we are going to remember that there's a whole bunch of different buildings from Shire Editions, for example, a builder's hut, residence, restaurant, and a bunch of decorations that we can fold back into and use as and when they feel like they fit in. But for now, let's go back and use the regular town hall. So this is going to be the spot. We're going to press go on this, and there we go. We've got the template of a building in place. We'll need to get it built, but for now, we do have the town hall block, and we can start our Shire. Very exciting. So we'll come over here to the town hall, and this is where it begins. In the year 13 after Creeper, we formally lay down the foundations of a new settlement, henceforth called... And we're going to go a bit, classic on this, the Shire. Yeah, there we go. I was going to ask you guys for a name, but I think this one is so perfect. How could I ignore it? So we'll sign the covenant and found the colony. Now, as soon as we do this, we've got to go into the name pack very quickly and select French, because that's where the custom names are. And now we're going to get 4 colonists that are going to arrive, so let's wait for them to get here. Now, the way you submit your names is via the Discord. There is a channel on the community Discord that is available to Patreon and YouTube members. And as you can see, Toodles McNoodles, one of our mods on the server, has already submitted his name, so he's in the colony. Now, some of the guys on the Discord have said they really don't want to be one of the first 4 colonists that arrives, because usually those guys die pretty quick. Well, I'm afraid, Toodles, you're the first to arrive, so welcome to the crew. Hopefully you don't die too quickly. Yeah, we'll see. Now, he has a yellow exclamation mark, which means he has a quest. Let's go and see what that is.
Good day to ya.
I just arrived here and wondered if you wish any guidance setting up the colony. Now, if you're new to Minecolonies, it's really good to go through these quests. However, I'm a colony master, and you underestimate my power, friend. His stats are pretty good though, look at this.
Need something?
Yeah, he's already got 8 strength, wow, Toodles, and 8 focus. You're a real beast. Who's the next hobbit to arrive on our colony? Now, as far as skins go, what we could do is change the citizen style. But I do think the default style does actually kind of look very hobbity. I can imagine Merry or Pippin wearing this outfit in the movies. So we're going to stick with the default for this one. It's Lyra. Welcome, Lyra. There's 2 more to arrive, but we'll come back and see who they are in a minute, because now we want to put down the builder's hut. The supply camp comes with all the things you need to get started. I think it's even got a crafting bench somewhere. There's a compost barrel, which is kind of useful. There's all kinds of things. Yeah, here it is, the crafting table. So you really can use this as your first base as well. Even if you're not playing Minecolonies, it's a great source for resources and a quick temp base in a pinch. So let's get on to the recipes. We're going to get some oak planks out here because the builder's hut is a very simple one. All you need to do is build a door. Then you put oak planks around the edge, the build tool at the top, and you have the builder's hut. Now, right off the bat, we're going to go for efficiency with this colony which is why we are going to get started with 2 builders' huts. That sounds a bit extreme, but it's really going to make things much, much easier for us. Plus, also, there's a bunch of different type of builders' huts from this pack, so I kind of want to try them all. Let's go and meet the new dudes. Ah, so who is this? It is Jot the Lee. Welcome, Jot the Lee. Oh, who's this? Ah, it's Moth, another member of the Discord. Welcome. So a builder's hut, much like the town hall, it's a really good idea to build your builder's hut pretty central. So we're going to pick a spot, well, right next to the town hall. Why wouldn't we? So we right click and let's select this. It's in Fundamentals, Builder's Hut. So we're going to look at all of these. There's the Builder's Hut Basic. Here's level 1. Now it doesn't look this bad when you build it, but in the preview it's got full brightness. So again, yeah, like some of the other buildings I've mentioned, the Builder's Hut Basic relies on being inside a bit of a hill. So you can quite easily incorporate this into like the landscape around the edge. That's a pretty good idea, but because we're out in the middle of the valley over here, I think this is the wrong style of Builder's Hut for this location. What about Builder Alt? Okay, wow, what is going on here? Let's maneuver it around, lower it down. And again, this is also a builder's hut that would lend a little bit better to being inside a hill. However, this builder's hut is really tiny. Look at this. This is a very small build. I do like that. We will be using this in future. So that's the 2 basic builder's huts from the Shire style. Let's take a look at Shire additions. What does this guy add? So fundamentals, builder, builder's hut, and let's see what this guy's built. Okay, and again, this is also a hut that looks like it would do better inside a hill. Okay, well, what does this thing look like at level 5? Maybe it changes a lot. Oh wow, yeah, this actually looks like it could be quite standalone. This wouldn't look too bad in the middle of a field, and as far as builder's huts go, this is a pretty cool look. But you know what, I think this could be a good builder's hut to put here. So we might pull the trigger on this one. Yeah. Now we want to conserve space, but I do think it's good to put a healthy distance between buildings. So you leave yourself some room for decoration, maybe even building a road through, because colonists sometimes like to, you know, use roads to get around all over the place. We can neaten up the sides over here, bring the dirt out so it looks a bit better, but I think this is a pretty good spot. So we'll right click and press the tick. The builder's hut is the most essential building in the colony, and before this is built, there's nothing you can do. You need to build this first so you can build any of the buildings going forwards. So absolutely, we want to make sure this guy's got enough room to breathe. This looks pretty good. This is going to be a pretty simple build. None of the leaves over here overhang, so we're in a good position. So now we need to select a builder. Big decisions. And Lyra is our builder. Very good. Welcome to the crew. Congratulations, Lyra. My favorite hobbit builder. So we have the town hall hut placed down, and we've selected our colony and configured it. We've also got the builder's hut here and a builder hired. But how do we build the buildings? So your task is to go around and gather up all of these little bits, the oak planks, the oak door, torch, cobblestone, oak slab, etc, etc. Once you have everything you need, we'll select build building for now, so yeah, she'll get started. But once you have the materials, you can come over here, click on required resources, and there'll be an option to give the colonist what you have. For example, we've got an oak door, we can give her that. We've also got a little bit of dirt and a few oak planks, so we can give her those. But red means you don't have any, yellow means you've got a few but not enough, and green means you have everything the colonist needs. Now when the builder has a problem, they'll get this red gear above their head, and that lets you know, hang on a sec, I can't do my job, because I need between 1 and 388 dirt to continue working. So the game always tells you what you need, and you never really get stuck with Minecolonies. There's always a way forwards. So it's time to go on a big old resource gathering trip to gather everything she needs. We're looking for oak, we're looking for cobblestone, but there's a lot of trees around, and we also have some oak saplings, so we can maybe start building a little forest over here. That's gonna help us get that oak. The early game buildings are very easy to make, so it's not too much to worry about. Now for all our mining needs, we're kind of in luck. Look at this, we've got a massive cave down here. Wait, is that? I think that's a create block, that's not prismarine. but there's a lot of dirt, there's a lot of resources down here. This is going to be really useful for us going forwards. Let's have a sleep and gather some stone, and then we can get sorted with the build. Oh, no! Oh man, got me while I was filming. That's a dirty trick to pull, my dude. Anyway, back to the digging. So sometime later, and we have quite a nice array of things. We've got a few bits of raw iron. That's going to come in hand. We've got plenty of cobblestone, plenty of oak logs, and plenty of dirt to get going. Now, making some of these things is going to be a bit tricky. The blocks like these framed spruce planks and things, they are actually going to require an architect's cutter. So architect, and it should arrive. There it is, the architect's cutter. So this actually does need an iron ingot to make, as well as some smooth stone slabs. So it's important to get this built early. So we'll build a furnace out of cobblestone, toss this outside, and get this iron smelted up. There are ways in all the mods 10 for us to get way more iron, way more bang for our buck. And in fact, it's probably worth turning in all the quests we've done already, because we probably have loads of stuff that's going to come in really handy for our... Wow! Yeah, look at that, loads of stuff! So we're going to plow everything we just got into this chest here. This is going to come in real handy. So 1 piece of coal should be enough to smelt 7 bits of iron. We'll use 1 for the architect's cutter, then we can build the things we need to get the builder's hut done. There it is. Combine this with some of the stone we just got, and we've got the wood and the oak. Shouldn't be a problem. So the stone becomes slabs, like that, and we have enough to make the architect's cutter. There it is! Amazing! We'll put the cutter outside as well, next to the furnace, and this is a very simple thing to do. Now, before we actually get going, building things, we need to remember specifically the type of wooden kind of architect's cutter thing we need. Each one of these blocks is slightly different, so getting this right is very important. Required resources, we can give them the cobblestone, we can give them the oak log, we can give them some of the dirt. But here we go, we've got to remember this. So it's framing type plain, oak and oak. And the other block is double-crossed oak, oak. So plain and double-crossed oak, oak. And we need 12 of each, basically. So let's go to the architect's cutter and make those. So making this is very simple. We select timber frames from the top, then we want plain. We put oak on both of those, and we want to make 12 of these. Then we select double-crossed, and we make 12 of those as well. And that's basically all we need. One addition to all the mods 10 is the crafting table on a stick. There are 2 versions of this. One of them is a charm, which you don't want to make. You want to make this other one over here, crafting on a stick, because this has its own special slot in your inventory, in your curios. So a crafting table and a stick makes this. You can open up your curios in the top left, put the crafting table down there. There it is. This slot was made for me. And now you can bind a key and have a crafting table wherever you go. Amazing. So we need loads of oak planks. We'll make a lot of these into oak planks. We need loads of oak stairs. We'll make a bunch of those too. I think we might need some slabs. Maybe, I can't remember. But let's go back and give Lyra everything she needs. Oh yeah. Crafting table, dirt, and torch. So here's some torches, Lyra. You'll need a few of these, but we'll save 1 coal because we might need that. Then it was the crafting table. Very important. And last but not least, 8 bits of dirt. So I'll grab the dirt and let's watch this build go up. So Lyra has everything she needs. Level 1 buildings are very easy to make. The materials required to build these are effortless. Just oak, some stone. It is strange that we needed to make the architect's cutter for a level 1 building, but that's okay. This is a Shire Additions building, which is a little bit more difficult, so that's okay. The rest of these buildings should be much more simple to put up. It's very basic at level 1, you don't really expect it to be anything amazing, so that's totally fine. What we are going to be doing though, now that we've got the Builder's Hut level 1 built here, we're also going to be putting down the second Builder's Hut, and this is going to be the more traditional Builder's Hut, and we're going to embed this in the mountain. And here we go straight into the second Builder's Hut build. This is Toodles, who's now our second builder. He didn't make the interview process for the first builder's job, but he passed the second one with flying colors. The materials to build this one, just like the other Builder's Hut, are very simple, very basic. Just some oak, digging out a hole, some cobblestone here and there, and yeah, just some basic materials. But having two Builder's Huts early on really does arm us with the tools we need to build some cool buildings at the same time. If you're building a colony at home, I do highly recommend getting two Builder's Huts as soon as possible. It's a really cool move. Plus, also time lapses are a lot more fun when you can have the builders race each other to build their buildings the quickest. I think that's pretty cool. And with both Builder's Huts complete, I wanted to join up the two areas as well. So we've put down some wooden stairs, used our shovel to make some dirt paths, and now the area is kind of all connected. I want to keep things connected as we go along. But there we go, my dudes, a very strong start to our Shire colony. It's called the Shire. Don't forget to become a Patreon or a YouTube member to support the channel, support the videos, and to get your colonist name into the colony. You can hop on over to our community Discord, where you'll see a channel where you can submit your names. And of course, I really want this series to succeed, so I need you guys to smash the like button, drop a comment, tell your friends about it, tell your mum about it, maybe she'll like it, and of course, keep watching. As always though, a massive thank you for watching, and a massive thank you to all of my dudes who are subscribed on Patreon and YouTube. You guys are seriously amazing. The next episode is gonna drop straight after this one, so tomorrow you can expect to see episode 2. But from me, from Toodles, from Moth, from Jot the Lee, and from Lyra, thank you for watching, and take care.